Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. With all the tariff news of late, it might be easy to miss out on congressional budget negotiations, but advocates say this is a key moment to pay attention. Republicans in the House and Senate trying to agree on a blueprint for a process called budget reconciliation. Amy Kiley has more on both sides of the debate.
Hands off Medicaid.
We're not going to cut Medicare, Social Security, or Medicaid.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says his chamber could vote on a budget blueprint today. The Republican plan already has the green light from the Senate. So if the House passes it, it'll likely be the foundation for how the U.S. spends money the next few years. Democrats say they're worried about what it could mean for Medicaid. In fact, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is challenging Johnson to go head-to-head with him in what's called a colloquy.
Mr. Speaker, I'm ready to yield. I'm ready to debate one-on-one on this House floor.
So far, Johnson is not accepting the challenge, but comments from the two leaders yesterday suggest what they might say if he did.
It's an assault on Medicaid, an assault on health care, an assault on nutritional assistance to children and families. It's an assault on older Americans.
Don't believe the lies about that.
The plan asked the House Energy and Commerce Committee to come up with $880 billion in cuts over 10 years. Analysts say it's hard to do that without affecting Medicaid. It provides health care to more than 20% of Americans and foots the bill for most seniors in nursing homes. Republicans say they don't want to eliminate it, but they do want to refine it.
Anybody who's an eligible beneficiary will be protected in this process. But there are a lot of other savings in fraud, waste, and abuse.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
When the next severe weather event happens, don't get caught in the dark. Power your kitchen, HVAC, and communication systems with a Jackery solar-capable generator. Just click on our YouTube affiliate shopping tab and you're on your way.
Closer to home, a bill aimed at protecting drug pricing in Nebraska has been signed into law. Governor Jim Pillen signed LB 168 on Wednesday. The bill's known as the 340B Contract Pharmacy Protection Act. It prohibits drug manufacturers from denying the sale of drugs to hospitals, clinics, and pharmacies. The bill's sponsor, Senator Brian Hardin of Gearing, says it's about ensuring that hospitals won't be overcharged for accepting Medicaid insurers.
That bill basically requires Big Pharma to help pay for the cost that it takes to expand various kinds of medical care in 58 of the hospitals across Nebraska. And so without this, that would make those hospitals suffer. In fact, the ones that are most vulnerable, probably 12.5 of those 58 hospitals, may not see it through another year if they don't get that help, because our hospitals operate at a 1.4% margin.
It's a key to growing our state. Because people need to be able to have access to great health care, and so our hospitals being successful is a big deal. And this 340B program is a really, really critical part. And, let's just call it the way it is. When you're doing something and Big Pharma's upset with you, I think it's.
Similar bills in other states have been challenged in court, but ultimately, advocates for Nebraska rural hospitals believe this is a law that will stand up to scrutiny.
What we've seen in other states is pharma pretty quickly backing off those restrictions. Now, in other states, they've fought in court and filed injunctions and other ways to stop it. But we are in the same appellate circuit with Arkansas, and the Arkansas law, which ours is kind of modeled after, has been upheld all the way through the appeals court. So we feel even if they tried that here, they would strike out, and we're going to see them back off some of their restrictions fairly quickly. It's something we're going to be actively tracking.
The 340B program was established by Congress in 1992. It allows drug manufacturers that participate in Medicaid to sell drugs at discounted prices to health care providers, but many of those discounts were discontinued during the pandemic. Meanwhile, two bills aimed at protecting Nebraska kids online have advanced again in the unicameral. Senators Wednesday advanced Senator Carolyn Bosen's Age-Appropriate Online Design Code Act. The bill requires online services to protect minor users and their personal information while using websites and social media. The bill passed despite some First Amendment concerns raised by a few Nebraska senators. Also advancing Wednesday was a bill by Senator Rita Sanders of Bellevue. It would require all of Nebraska's public school districts to prohibit the use of personal electronic devices by students. It's a policy that's already been adopted by many districts around the state. Some other pending bills aimed at child safety include a proposal that would require age verification on social media accounts and another that would update existing child sex abuse laws to ban AI images of child pornography. Since taking office this year, the Trump administration has steadily administered cutbacks to many different government agencies that offer services at the federal and state level, and the effects of those cuts are being strongly felt by officials at the local level. John McKee is Director of Emergency Management Services in both Saline and Jefferson counties. He said during a status update meeting with the Jefferson County Commissioners this week that departments like his across the state will feel the effect of cuts to FEMA and the National Weather Service.
All federal stuff has been put on hold for us. Right now, even the state of Nebraska, NEMA is being paid out of the governor's emergency fund because federal funding has stopped. So it's a day-by-day thing with them.
McKee wears a number of hats in his work across two southeast Nebraska counties. He's also the weed superintendent in Jefferson County and manages the planning and zoning department as well. He says it's become common for those officials to have to hold multiple roles.
It's getting more and more, which we tried to get them to understand, that we're not sitting here as weed superintendents only. For all these statutes and things that were put in place years ago, we're for the weed superintendent, and it's come to really show that they wanted something to keep the weed superintendent busy through the wintertime and that to help keep their position.
The Jefferson County Weed Department received a perfect score this year in a state assessment that considers criteria like number of inspections completed and documented, superintendent education, and department public relations. Wildfire season can be merciless. That's certainly been the case for one part of the state a couple years ago. Jake Bartecki has more.
Almost 2 years ago to the date, areas like these here at Rock Creek Station ablaze when wildfire burned over 2,600 acres in Jefferson County. Now, looking at forecasts 2 years removed for this spring, officials are preparing for if that were to happen again and reflecting on the times that were.
It was very busy, a lot of things going on. It allowed the local departments to realize what does go on in a large incident.
John McKee has spent 25 years as the Jefferson and Saline County emergency manager and says the several area departments that battled those blazes gained valuable experience, but most importantly, they learned how to work together.
We do work together good. Communications is good. There's always complaint about communications, but we always overcome that. And working with state folks, state officials, and that was real good.
Those fires left a lasting impact, not only on the affected areas, but on officials like McKee as well. An example, advanced planning for this weekend's forecast. Temperatures are forecasted to be in the 80s with high winds.
This weekend is a little bit of a concern. We're getting a little bit of green in there, but even the moisture we have had in some parts of the area is starting to run off, and if we dry out, and if we get that moisture or get the winds in that and the high temperatures, the green won't, it might help to slow it down a little bit, but it's going to create a lot more smoke.
But McKee says the public can do their part to help prevent fires. Avoid discarding cigarettes, don't park vehicles in tall grass, and for those who may have conducted controlled burning, monitor your brush piles and burned areas for reignition.
Hopefully you burned around it and there's a nice green area there, but those brush piles will spread, hundreds of feet, so even a small area around is not good enough.
In Jefferson County, Jake Bartecki, News Channel, Nebraska.
And finally, marshaling students through a hallway can be a routine part of the day, but not for Kathy Casey this week. She rounded a corner to a hallway full of students as the Zollner Family Paraeducator of the Year at Beatrice Elementary School, described as the ultimate paraeducator who asks which children need one-on-one tutoring, a stickler for preparation each day. Casey was presented with a star trophy and a $1,000 check by members of the Zollner family.
The last few years, we thought it was very important to be part of our school system and to give and honor those people that give extra back to the kids and make an impact. I have a sister that was a para for most of her career. She's no longer in the position, but at one time she made an impact, and it made an impact on all of us. Going to her kids' graduation and hearing from them when they were little kids about what an impact their para made. And so we thought, well, there was a teacher's award that some other people honor. We thought we'd honor the para. And so with that, thank you very much for what you do for all the kids and what an impact you make in their life. And we'd like to reward you for your efforts. Thank you.
The family are owners of Zollner Ford Lincoln and Zollner Design Company. Each year, they honor a para-educator of the year through the Beatrice Educational Foundation. Those who nominated Kathy Casey for the award called her a teacher teammate in tune with the classroom she serves, able to anticipate upcoming needs, show respect for students, and be an all-hands-on-deck team player who makes sure each student believes they can succeed. After receiving the award, Casey said she loves what she does. You can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com, click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.